where to begin. If you haven't heard already, there's a new update on alcohol, and I really want to talk about it real quick. Specifically, alcohol's risk cancer. My gosh, how do I say that? Alcohol and cancer risk. There you go. It's linked to cancer, which has been known, but the main thing there is that the Surgeon General is trying to get a warning label put on it that alcohol has a risk of cancer. So, yeah, we know that already, but this comes after recently published findings that, as I understand, were released, I think, January 3rd, a couple days ago, with some interesting data points. So, that is something anyone can go look at. I might try to link that in the description here. But a couple key things to note. We've known that alcohol can be associated with cancer at this point, what isn't. But the interesting part of this is just the push to have a label put on alcoholic products that talks of the cancer risk, just like we have with tobacco products like cigarette. One of the interesting things, though, too, is there's already been a big push lately, I think in large part to Andrew Huberman's podcast and a couple other sources talking about having no more than 2 drinks in a week and how that having more connects with just brain deterioration, as I understand. So, just a couple quick things to note that I found really interesting from the info that was put out by the US Department of Health and Human Services. A couple things, and they have some fun diagrams too, which always makes this a lot more engaging. 7 types of cancer are linked with alcohol use. Not necessarily that you're going to get them, but your risks go up. And that's mouth, throat, voice box, esophagus, breast, liver, and then colon and rectum. So all those are associated with an increase. And it breaks down ways that it causes cancer, which I think are interesting. Alcohol. So 4 main mechanisms here. One being that alcohol breaks down into acetaldehyde, I think that's how it's said, which damages DNA in multiple ways, causing an increased risk of cancer. So DNA breaking down. The second mechanism is that alcohol induces oxidative stress. So it increases the risk of cancer by damaging, again, DNA, but also proteins and cells, increasing inflammation. Third mechanism is that alcohol alters the level of multiple hormones in the body, including estrogen, which is one of the things that would increase risk of breast cancer. And the fourth mechanism here is that alcohol leads to a greater absorption of carcinogens. So we've all heard that thrown around. Don't overly burn your marshmallows when making s'mores, but that alcohol will help with absorbing those into your body. One of the interesting things that I found too, which surprised me, I don't know why it surprised me, I guess I just assumed the opposite, that alcohol consumption has a higher risk of inducing cancer in women than in men. So the specific metric that they used, I'll read it. About 5 more women out of 100 would develop cancer due to consumption of 2 drinks a day. The same is true for 3 out of 100 men. So the chances of getting cancer if you drink 2 drinks a day or more goes up by 5 out of 100 for women and 3 out of 100 for men. I just thought it would probably hit men harder. I don't really know why I thought that. What's also interesting is the rates weren't dramatically different when drinking less, which I found interesting. So all the information that we're hearing on, no more than 2 drinks a week. Well, this chart that I'm looking at shows the difference between 2 drinks a day, 1 drink a day, or less than 1 drink per week. And there's not as big of a drop off. So for women in those 3 categories, 2 drinks a day, 21.8% increase. 1 drink a day, 19% increase. Less than 1 drink per week, 16.5% increase. So that's interesting. I just assumed it's absolute risk of cancer, to be clear. So I'm not going to speak that this is a direct increase in total percentage likelihood. Let's see. Yeah, I guess it does actually. This graph represents the cumulative absolute risk of alcohol-related cancer in men and women over the lifespan by age 80. So for men, the same order, 2 drinks a day, 1 drink a day, less than one a week, 13.1% increase, 11.4% increase, and 10% increase. So yeah, big bummer there if you enjoy alcohol. So that's not fun news, to put it that way. So anyway, I'm not going to drag this on for that much longer. We'll see if there's actually labels that start to be put on things. Most people know alcohol isn't that good for you. I know some people still swear by it, but it's mostly a social poison at this point. But the studies that keep coming out are more and more, we'll say, damning of the usage. So if you're someone who doesn't drink and you're wondering about it, yeah, probably just don't start. And if you're someone who's drinking and thinking about quitting, maybe this is the last little push you needed. There's nothing I could say that would be a recommendation for more. So that's what you have. And yeah, we'll see what happens here and we'll see how the drinking trends continue to go. Gen Z is not very interested. I think 61% said that they are not interested in drinking, which is a lot. So we'll see if that trend continues with Gen Alpha and going on from there. So we'll talk to you later. See ya.